fortitude to get up and go out there and sell goods and services around the world. And under my watch as minister in that ministry, the BIDC and several other state agencies have invested in this sector in Barbados to grow it out. So why my opponents and those that keep a lot of noise and saying nothing is being done? I can point to almost 10% growth in the exports of goods and services from Barbados. We can point through the BIC and other agencies over the investment we've made in retrofitting plant equipment, relabeling etc. to make sure that we meet international standards and we get into the international market. We have done well, but I want my fellow Dems to understand this. These are serious times. Do not cower in darkness. Do not tremble under the voice of the opponents. Arm yourself with information. Get out there and defend your party, but more importantly, defend your country. When it comes to matters like small business development, I have a couple of opponents here in St. James South, but one, I think her first name is Cheryl, she goes by Suda Masai, who likes to promote herself as someone who's some expert on small business, but can never point to any business that she started or ran successfully. And I've always contended in politics. Failure. It is not my business to get into people's personal life and business. That is not my style. There are far more substantive issues to address in this country. But what I can say to you when it comes to business, that my opponent is a successful failure. Big failure. So whatever they may say about me, at least I've tried. Yes, I've failed along the way, but I've rolled myself up, brushed off my kneecaps, and gone forward again, and I've made it happen, not just for myself or my family, but for countless others in this society. So we, ladies and gentlemen, are at the point where come May 24th, we have to make a very serious decision. Elections are always serious. Voting is always serious. Again. There are those who are going to say, look, 2 terms is enough. A 3rd term can't be right. There are going to be those who will be saying that taxation is too high. We need to change the government. Oh, I've heard these things. No change. And there's one thing in me as your parliamentary representative is that I listen. I don't get angry when people tell me things that may seem to be hurtful. Because at the end of the day, I do not have all the answers. I need to listen. I need to engage fully with you. But this election is a very serious one. Those who are keeping the most noise, I say it's time for a change. Ask them what are they offering as an alternative. Anti-vessels keep the most noise. I heard my friend, the leader of opposition, who is in a naked hurry to become Prime Minister of this country. I can't work. Everybody wants Prime Minister of this country, including Gearbox. May he rest in peace. But look, it is a serious, serious business. I want people to attain these offices who are committed to this country, who are not committed to a select few, but who are also prepared to make decisions that have to be made in the best interest of the country. So why the leader opposition, you're going to be the opposition, is making the point about all these issues of a new Prime Minister, etc. The reality is, ladies and gentlemen, is that Barbados has to be focused on more important issues. There are those who argued about governance issues, and there are just a few matters that I am going to frankly address in this campaign. Governance, the management of public finances and way forward, as well as a few matters relating to the economy. And I'm going to end in a few minutes on these points. Because at the end of the day, When you sit in your homes and husband gardens and surrounding areas, Westwood Park and wherever, you don't just want to spend your time reflecting on the last 10 years alone and the propaganda of those. You want to ask yourself, where will this country go for? What would it take to get it there? What do you want it to be? And I've always adopted perhaps a stronger level of independence in politics than may be comfortable for some people. Because at the end of the day, I, Donald O'Neill Innes, came into politics seeking to make a difference, not to hold on to anyone's coattail, not to be a blind follower, but because I believe I have the intellectual ability and the overall ability to help to transform the station. So if over time I have made public statements that do not seem to concur with those in leadership in the government of the day that I'm part of, then I do that because whatever I say, I firmly believe in. We are entitled to have a difference of opinion. And I've said already, there are few matters that have to be addressed frontally in this country. I have seen the leading opposition in recent times saying, vote for me because you are voting for a prime minister. That rejects is not the way it happens in Barbados. And I've seen a lot of people who wanted to be prime minister who have fallen by the wayside because of their arrogance. And I've said to me, that is not the way to do it. I asked the people of St. James South to work with me, to continue to support me, and come May 24th to cast your X to me, because first and foremost, I want to be your parliamentary representative. Whoever forms the majority of seats in parliament the day after, get together and decide who among them should be leader of this country. And I said yesterday on the program of Brass Stats, and I made no apologies for it, there's all possibility that if the Dems win the most they see, from them may not be prime minister again. As likewise, and as George Payne, my constituent of Belfair in Pryor Park, has explained to me over and over again, your man, don't mind a lot of noise here, making about the place. I'm not sure that she'll be prime minister if we win. That is George Payne's perspective, you know. The same George Payne who has the matter in court, Payne versus Simpson, when George Payne said that Mayor Motley embezzled funds from the Barrister Party, and where Edmund Hickson said George Payne forged people's signature. That is what you're offering on the other side. But why is there do their battles in court and all the character assassination? We have to be focused on moving this country forward. And that's why, ladies and gentlemen, I say to you, just a few things that we have to really get serious about. And I've spent 10 years. And people may say, look, why have you not forced me and argued, defending these issues over the years? Well, perhaps it's youthfulness, perhaps it's experience. But there are a couple of things that I believe firmly from where I stand we have to address. I say to you, for example, the size of the cabinet in Barbados need not be more than 1/3 the size of Parliament in Barbados. I believe in having a more rigorous structure that ensures the checks and balances between the executive and legislative arm of government is entrenched. That is my view. I also believe that the judicial arm of government ought to be far more independent in its selection has been before. I firmly believe in these things, and I will debate them and explain them as time goes forward. I also believe as we start looking more at the economy, for example, ladies and gentlemen, I understand the pain that many of my middle class constituents have undergone over the last couple of years. This is part of the challenge we face in bringing Barbados into a sense of reality, containing costs and ensuring that there's no massive negative fallout in this society. But there's some things as we level off the economy. From where I sit, Barbados in its current trajectory has passed the worst, no matter what the bees and others are saying. But we cannot be complacent because the structural deficiencies in this economy must not be allowed to continue as we had before. But there's some things that must be reintroduced. Like, for example, I firmly believe that the allowances for house repairs and mortgage and whatnot need to be reintroduced in Barbados over the next 2 years or so. Yeah. And I can tell you this, as to a neighbor over here in Husband Heights, I know full well that when I got those allowances for mortgage interest, I was able to hire a painter to do some work on my house. I was able to hire some people to make some investment in growing the property. Of course, we had to eliminate some of these things in recent years to ensure the economy did not crumble. But I believe, having passed the worst, we can gradually reinstate some of these things. I also believe that we have to grant some level of incentives, gradually, not large amounts initially, to ensure that those who invest in their children's education are able to get some tax relief for that. That is what I believe my middle class constituents are asking for. As I come into your homes and sit and talk with you, these are what I'm hearing. I'm not one of these politicians who listen to my constituents for the calling programs on social media. You know. I talk to my constituents. Some of you may say you haven't seen me, but that is always said about politicians anyway. Don't worry about that. Don't worry about that. But if you say that, let me first want to apologize, because I believe in full engagement with my constituents. Some of you may say that I've not listened. I've listened to you, but I've listened to others and come to inform position. But I firmly believe that the tax allowances that were removed a few years ago, we need to gradually start to introduce them as the economy started to settle down in this country. I also believe that the public sector must be further reformed to the point where it becomes far more responsive than it's ever been. And I say to you, residents of Husband Heights, for example, many of you are civil servants. And I always say that my criticisms of this public service must not be construed as an attack on civil servants. Because at the end of the day, you too also suffer when the public service does not work efficiently. All of you suffer when you have to wait in long lines in public service department to get things done. All of you suffer when you have to sit and wait for years or so to get your tax returns. These are the realities we all have to face. But I know from an investment perspective, we need to get to the point where we say when applications are made before government departments, you must get a response, not in 3 years or 3 months, but in 3 weeks. Whatever the indications are, you are deserving of a response. So ladies and gentlemen, those are the kind of reforms that we need to have in this country. I know the United is going on, and I need to end up shortly. But I want to say to you, ladies and gentlemen, that this is a very, very serious election. People are going to spend time talking about when elections are called, how many CXCs are affected. I have a son doing CXCs and I don't think he's affected by it. They're going to talk about the length of time we spent in office. They're going to hear all sorts of criticism. And quite frankly, some of the things I cannot defend. But those that I can, I will explain. But more importantly, I want you, the residents of Husband Gardens, Westwood Park, Haynesville, Thorpes, Husbands, and all these surrounding communities to understand that this is serious business. I see on the other side the Barbados Party, a political party and a group who are focused more on charade and facade. They are focused on the number of hits on the website. They're focused on the number of programs on social media. That's important too. But you know what? What I find quite annoying, they're not focused on moving barriers forward. So with all of the criticisms about the economy, for example, foreign exchange issues and deficit issues, we are not told how we are going to wrestle barriers to ground moving forward. I have said to you, and my party said to you, we will continue to reform the public sector. We will continue to grant incentives to attract foreign direct investment. We will continue to roll out new policies in the renewable energy sector, a new industry that's creating thousands of jobs and saving a lot of foreign exchange. We say to you, we've created a cultural industry under the leadership of Stephen Lashley that is in itself creating millions of dollars in foreign exchange on an annual basis. These are things we are doing. What you're hearing on the other side is that they're abolishing national social responsibility levy, which by the way needs to come down a bit too. You're going to hear that they're going to reduce VAT and all these things. So the revenue take to government is going to be drastically reduced. But at the same time, they're going to restore a whole lot of free social services. And I ask you, ladies and gentlemen, raisins and husband gardens, where is the money going to come from?
It buses in 6 months.
We have to have a serious conversation in this country. We have to continue to make some very firm decisions. I, like you who live in this community, want my garbage collected at least once a week. But I want to know that that is adequately financed. But also regarding that, I want to know we roll out a policy of reuse and recycle in this country as well. These things are important. Like you, I want to know that the roads are smooth, there are no potholes. But I also want to ensure that instead of finding the money to do that, we do not compromise on the quality of health care in this country. We do not compromise on the quality of our education system. So ladies and gentlemen, as we wind up this meeting here tonight, I say to you, I am eternally grateful for the 10 years you've given me here in St. James South as your parliamentary representative. I have served you without fear or favor. I've been part of a team that sought to wrestle the fundamental challenges in this country to the ground. We have started to grow this economy. We've diversified the economy. Now is not the time to change.
Give me a 10 more.
I humbly submit to you that enough has been done in this constituency and a national level to offer myself to you once again to be your parliamentary representative. This is not a matter I take seriously. For me, it is not about earning a pension. It's not about a salary. It is about ensuring that, like myself, who came from a very humble background and who moved myself up the ladder, that you and your children can do the same. It's about moving this nation forward. It's about ensuring that this island of 166 square miles and almost 300,000 people can continue to punch above its weight and be well recognized and respected in the international arena. Ladies and gentlemen, I urge you, when all is said and done, remember and appreciate that the Democratic Labour Party has been a dear, loving party and continue to be committed to you. And I urge you, come May 24th, to give your support in large numbers to Donald Oni Ennis and the team here in St. James South. Thank you and God bless you all.